Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I'll be doing improvisation using geometry nodes and curve. So let's get started. The idea here is really with geometry nodes, you can turn mesh into curve, and you can turn curve into mesh. But there is one more thing. So let's say this monkey head, right? We can turn this into curve, mesh to curve. You can see there's a curve to mesh as well. So mesh to curve will convert the monkey head into curve, and because this is a curve, you can turn it back into mesh while doing this. You already know, I've done this a couple of times, so that's kind of cool in itself. Let's save this first. So this is curve point. So other than that, of course, you can actually do like a resample. For example, resample a curve. Oops, someone is calling. Just ignore it for now. I'm making video tutorial. Resample curve, I can perhaps randomize the curve with vector. Just add it. This one can be position. So this one is a little bit crazy, but you get the idea. So every curve become like a separate object, but it's really fast and basically replacing every edge of Suzanne. Okay, so we know this is pretty easy. Let's go to the next one. We can actually, instead of using curve to mesh, we can still keep this as edge, and you can use modifier if you want to, but you can also use a curve to points. So this is almost hidden, and this is actually quite brilliant. You will see in a bit. Let's see, we need to see the asset browser. Oh, not asset browser, sorry, the spreadsheet. And you can see with these points, this is now a point cloud, but the point cloud is also quite special because it has a couple of attributes like tangent. Points can be really powerful. So for now, we just worry about the tangent, maybe radius and tilt, that's related to the curve itself, but the tangent is what I want. So with the tangent, if you have like a cylinder, let's create like a cylinder object. This is one big Blender unit. I'm just gonna scale it to 0.1. So we have this cylinder. I'm just gonna hide it. We're gonna put a cylinder on the points, point instance. Okay, now we have this cylinder kind of already using the rotations, or maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Let's point scale, so we can do a lot of things. Yeah, it's probably already rotated along the path. Interesting, because I thought it won't be doing that. Attribute rotate, attribute vector rotate, or rotate, align rotation to vector. I thought it will. Yeah, I thought it will be like rotated this way. But I was expecting to use the tangent. So apparently even without this, it's already rotated with the tangent, which is interesting. But something to keep in mind. Maybe I think I did something here that kind of triggered the tangent somewhat. So now we can control our cylinder radius. We can use random float, I believe, with the seed. Oh, we don't have index in this version of geometry nodes, but the idea is really you can use combine XYZ value, and you can control the radius. Let me think. random float. Okay, just a value. And we can control the height. So by doing this, we have like a kind of like this design, like a, call it like a pocky. I think I forgot to do something else. Resample, mesh to curve, resample to curve. If I open my other file, tangent. Yeah, okay, this is similar example, but I'm using donuts and I'm using the tangent. So I did the mesh to curve, resample to curve, curve to points, randomize, align rotation. So without the tangent, it's just gonna be aligned to a certain axis. Maybe that's what you want, but I like to use the tangent. Yep, and instead of using torus, I'm using cylinder. Same deal. And I believe this with the monkey head here, I did the remesh modifier. So without the remesh modifier, we have just Suzanne with arrangement of this stick that looks like a pocky snack chocolate. So it's a tangent. This is the point scale. Okay, I can make it 0.1. You can see this is just like a bunch of stick cylinder. There's one that's a little bit more interesting. Okay, same deal, but it's more like a melted chocolate because I'm using remesh. Okay, so this is, let me turn off shadow so it's a bit faster. Without the remesh, it's just bunch of stick. However, it's still kind of interesting. See all this stick? You can actually replace it with a capsule or any objects, and it's gonna do this stick along the path. So this is interesting because if I go back to no, I don't have another example. This is just using the cylinder, but you can replace it with anything. Maybe it's more obvious if we use something like cone. So this is a cone. I'm just gonna drag and drop the cone here. So now the cone is duplicated along the path. Here we're gonna do the same thing, combine XYZ. This is one, this is a value that we want to plug into the X, and the Z axis goes in there. So now the cone is being duplicated along path. We have this thorny looking Suzanne. Select Suzanne, geometry nodes. Let's adjust the length of the cone. There you go. So it's like the arrow is following the path. I might actually do the axis needs to be correct. Somehow this cone is not in the middle. Okay, right click, set origin to geometry. Now it's correct. Okay, interesting. Probably better if it's centered also. So here the tangent can be randomized a little bit here. I'm using attribute randomizer. Without the attribute randomizer, all the cone is just simply following the tangent, and if it's not following the tangent correctly, you can change the directions. So now this is what I want. This is exactly what I want to show you. So we have cone along the path of every curve of every Suzanne edge. All right, so this is gonna be handy in the future. Just keep this in mind. You can use this with grease pencil. Just draw grease pencil and then each edge of grease pencil, or we can just duplicate these objects along the path. All right, so there you go. Hopefully you find it useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.